knowing what I know now, would I go back, and would I recommend people to go back? Hello everybody, my name is Naya and I'm the Black female engineer. I provide content for new and aspiring software engineers, and today's topic is going to be coding bootcamps. I went to a coding bootcamp back in 2020 in the midst of the pandemic. I went from June of 2020 to October of 2020, and I went to one of the big ones. I went to Flatiron School. I went to Flatiron School for what 4 months? I think it was advertised as like a 15-week, 16-week program. So right around the 4-month range. And through that time, I learned about JavaScript, I learned about Ruby on Rails, and JavaScript framework, React. Those were really the four, those were really the 4 things we focused on throughout my time at bootcamp. At the end of it all, I graduated with a job. I actually graduated with a job, which was insane and absurd. But the day of graduation was when I received my first job offer. It's not the job I ended up taking, but it was an offer, and I ended up accepting a 6-figure offer by the end of October. So about 3.5 weeks after graduation, which is really, really amazing. And so knowing all of this with this summary I just gave you, you may be thinking like, okay, yeah, she obviously endorses boot camps, and because look at her, that's how she succeeded and that's how she got to where she is now. Because right now I work for a Fortune 50 company as a software engineer, and it's been really great. I really have been enjoying my Time here. However, knowing what I know now, knowing what I know about boot camps, knowing what I know about what it takes to get a job as a software engineer or as an entry-level, junior, because yeah, I'm very entry-level, let's make that clear. As an entry-level developer and whatnot, knowing what I know now about this migration into tech, would I go back, and would I recommend people to go back? I think this is so hard for me to talk about and say, because I don't ever want to regret things. That's not a fun feeling, regretting an experience, regretting a decision. That's not fun, because what am I going to do now? What am I supposed to do now? Just sit in it, But I guess the answer to that is what I do now is use it for the future, or use it to help other people and share my experience. And so that's what I'm doing. And that being said, I would not go to a coding bootcamp. At the very least, I wouldn't go to the one I went to. I wouldn't go to the one I went to. Not Flatiron School specifically, because I really, truly enjoyed my experience. I loved Flatiron School. However, one of the really hard things about coding bootcamps is how notorious they are in providing different experiences depending on the cohort you're in, depending on the location you're a part of, the size, the resources. It ends up being pretty just inconsistent. And so for me, what I'll say is, it's not that I wouldn't go to Flatiron School. Well, it is, but it's not. What it is I wouldn't go to a paid or an expensive coding bootcamp, knowing what I know now. When I made the decision to become a software engineer, I knew nothing about how to do so without a degree. To me, the only 2 options were get a degree or self-teach. Now, at the time, I had just graduated with my degree in finance and accounting. Literally graduated May of 2020 and joined a coding bootcamp June of 2020, the following month. I found out about coding bootcamps around April, and it was the first time I had heard of an option other than going back for a 4-year degree / master's or self-teaching. It was the first time I heard of it was the third door that I didn't know existed. And so when I did my research and I saw the top 3 options pop up, which were Flatiron School, General Assembly, and a boot camp part of like in my state, like part of a local state college. I thought, oh, this is it, is these top three, especially because when I looked it up, it was like, yeah, the best ones are these three and whatnot. And so those are the ones I applied for, those are the ones I interviewed for, those are the ones I started choosing between. I had no idea that there were free options available. I had no idea, no idea that there were free or low cost options available. Maybe with this rise of people getting into the industry without degrees and wanting coding bootcamps, more affordable options became available and more free and nonprofit options became available. And so maybe 2 years ago when I was looking, they weren't as, available. Maybe that's what it was. But I'm sitting here now and I'm looking at all these options and I'm like, damn, I wish I had done that. Now, why is it that I wish I had done that? Well, first and foremost, you already know the cost. Flatiron School cost for me at the time, I want to say $18,000. I believe it was like advertised as 15, but if you get like a good job that offers a good salary, you pay back up to around 18,000 back, because I did an income share agreement, which meant I paid no money up front. They've now removed that, and that's honestly a conversation maybe for a different day, the whole scandal around income share agreements. I think that's why Flatiron and other companies have taken it away. But yes, I did an income share agreement. And so almost 20 grand is a lot of money. You don't think of it at the moment, because for me, what I was thinking was, oh, well, if I get a good job, then of course I'll pay this money back, $800 a month or whatever, if I get a good job. Like, just give me the job. You know what I mean? Like, I cared more about getting the results I wanted. And so I was like, oh, whatever, it's fine. Kind of like college, when you're like, oh, let me take out $50,000 in loans. Like, cool. If I have a job after, of course I'm paying it back and it's fine. You're not truly thinking about the implications of those financial decisions. And maybe you are if you're older. I was 22 and I had been riding that wave of taking out a loan and then paying it back for my 4-year institution for the last 4 years. And so to me, that was just what you did. But now I'm on this other side and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And knowing that there was a way to avoid it, I kick myself for it, to be honest. Even if I have the job, even if I make $1 million, that's still a lot of money. Second reason I wouldn't go to a big institution like that one is because the reason I went to a coding bootcamp in the first place was because I simply needed direction. It wasn't because I couldn't teach myself the material. It wasn't because I didn't think I could, do it on my own. It was because I simply needed direction. There's so much information out there, and that's kind of like part of the point of this whole channel. There's so much information out there. How in the world do you expect me to decipher all of it to create major career decisions, And so I was like, okay, cool. If I go to a coding bootcamp, I will be able to have a teacher, somebody who knows the industry, guide me along this path and say, after you learn functions, then you learn this. And after you learn JavaScript, then you learn this. And I needed someone to guide me, because here I was self-teaching, trying to teach myself Ruby on Rails, not knowing any which way what Ruby was and what a framework was and why those are important. And that's not good. So I really did want a teacher, someone to guide me. That being said, I can get a teacher now for a lot cheaper. I can get a teacher now for almost kind of like, I also want to say like free, with the different courses people have put out and the different YouTube channels there are and whatnot. Especially me, who is the type of person to, if you tell me what to do, you don't need to be the one to teach me. I'll be the one to teach me. I just need to know what to do. I'll look up other teachers, I'll look up resources, I'll read the articles, I'll read the textbooks, I'll do all that is necessary. When I really want a goal, when I really have a goal in mind, I'll do all that's necessary. Just tell me, hey, look here instead of here, and I'll take it from there. And so for you to just say like, look here, I can definitely find that, at least now, in a lot of different places that I've even linked below in my bio that I've talked about on this channel. And so I wish Yeah, I think what it is, I wish I had done more digging and more learning about coding bootcamps before making the leap, because to be honest, I found out about coding bootcamps and I applied the next day and I accepted a bootcamp within like a week. A lot of people will say, will a coding bootcamp help me get a job? No, it will not. I'm here to tell you right now. No, it won't. Coding bootcamps will not help you get the job. Coding bootcamps will not get the job for you. You truly have to do it on your own, just as if you had done self-teaching and done the whole previous months and years by yourself. In my opinion, the work I put in to get a job was no less than if I hadn't gone to a coding bootcamp. And I think it's that specific question and that specific idea, that's really what pulls the trigger into making people say, okay, I'll go to a coding bootcamp, because they advertise, hey, 97% of our graduates and everything get a job within 6 months. However, what they're not telling you is, of that, it's 97% of graduates. However, only 50% of people graduated. That's how they get you. And like, it sucks to say, because again, like, I've gone through a coding bootcamp, and again, this is not like me bashing on Flatiron School or any other bootcamp. This is not me doing that. This is me sharing how, knowing X, Y, and Z, I would have made different decisions. I'm not saying that bootcamps are not beneficial for some people. However, for me, I don't think I needed it. And to me, bootcamps are truly a last resort. And so when you see these headlines of 97% of graduates get a job within 3 months, 6 months, a year, etc., they share that with the masses. Ask them, okay, cool, what's your graduation rate? And to be even more specific, what's your graduation rate for like original class? And so like, how do I explain this? So me at Flatiron School, there were 3 cohorts happening at the same time. A cohort about 2 like sections / chapters / phases ahead of us, and a cohort about 2 phases under us. I think that's how it was set up. I think. Of the people that I joined my bootcamp with, that I entered with, first day, these are the people, these are my classmates, it's all of our first days, about half of us made it to graduation day. Now, that being said, some of them were, held back and everything and maybe graduated later on. However, they weren't part of like the original graduation group. And so when you look at 50% of those people graduated and then 94% of those people got a job, then you maybe want to say 50% or 60% of people get a job within 3 months or 6 months. You know? I feel like the devil is honestly really in the details. And Flatiron School did have career services. Pretty much all the big bootcamps do have career services. That being said, they didn't do much for me. And that being said, another layer of that, I also started job hunting and everything before they came into the mix and whatnot. By the time they were like, hey, it's time to like review resumes and everything, I was like, oh, I actually have like 3 interviews lined up, but like I'll get back to you if like I need you. But I have spoken with like other people who did boot camps and whatnot, and they echoed the same thing of, no, it's all on you, bud. Like, it really is all on you. They advertise, resume help and services and mock interviews and whatnot, but all of the things that they help with, it's worth maybe like 2 or 3 hours of your time and their time when you really put it all together. And I can tell you right now, job hunting took more than 2 and 3 hours of my time. So what free / low cost bootcamps are available? Really the ones that come to mind are ADA developers, or is it ADA developers? I don't remember. ADA developers or ADA developers. That is a phenomenal one. It's free, you have to apply. It's for women and gender non-conforming individuals. And I've heard really, really amazing things about their programs. So there's that. There's Resilient Coders, which I believe is only available along the East Coast, but I'll have to double check. But one that is available to really all likes of life and in person, and not even in person, actually all virtual, but live, and I hear it's amazing, is 100 Devs. I believe it's run by a man named Leon, and I hear phenomenal things about this man. If you're watching, you're doing amazing. I hear phenomenal things about it, and it's really just a man who I believe is an instructor for a big coding bootcamp, but he puts in time and effort and work into teaching you all what it takes to be a developer. And he has actual cohorts and classes and everything, and you apply and all that, and it's completely free. All of the ones mentioned are completely free. There's also going to be links in my bio linking back to free/low cost coding bootcamps. But yeah, this is not, again, a video to bash any big coding bootcamp. I went to one, and again, I loved my experience. I did. I enjoyed my experience. I loved my teachers so much. I really, really did. However, looking back, would I do it again? I think I would have loved to have done the free/low cost ones. And so yeah, I hope this was helpful. I'll follow this up with videos on really what to consider when choosing a coding bootcamp, along with just questions to ask the admissions teams and counselors and everything before you sign on the dotted line saying I'm going to become a student. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss those. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining me. What are your thoughts? What are your what are your thoughts? What are your questions? Let's chat. Let's just chat. Let's just have an honest conversation. Okay. Thank you all for joining me. I'll talk to you later. Bye.